Okay, dear students, in the previous lecture, we took the different logic gates. Okay, and we have seen that NAND gate works as a universal gate because all the primary gates, OR gate, AND gate, and NOT gate, all these gates can be implemented by using NAND gate. Or in other words, I can say I can design any digital circuit using NAND gate only without using any other gate. Just by using NAND gates I can design any digital system. So that is another reason why NAND gate is known as universal gate. Similarly, NOR gate is also universal gate. Okay, NOR gate is also universal gate, and designing of different gates by using NOR gate, like NOT gate, AND gate, and OR gate. These three gates can be implemented by using NOR gate only. So you are requested to do this thing as a home assignment, do by your own, and try to see how NOR gate can be used to implement NOT and OR gates. Okay, let's go ahead with the codes. I have told you that I will be covering the gray code especially in the forthcoming lectures after logic gates. So now we are in a position to see the gray code. Gray code is a code that differs only one bit between the two consecutive numbers. In the binary representation we have seen, when I was using binary number, so we have seen that for 0, suppose I have a 3-bit representation, it is 0, this is 001 means 1, it is 010 2. So we can see over here between these two numbers I have only 1 bit difference, but between these two numbers I have 2 bits where 2 positions where bits are changed, this one, the middle one, as well as the LSB. So at these two positions the bits have changed. So suppose I have to transmit some information from one place to other place. In that case I have to transmit both these bits. Okay, so that is why the bandwidth requirement will be higher. But if I have a system, if I have a number system where I can have only 1 bit difference between the consecutive numbers, then probably we can reduce the requirement of the bandwidth in a transmission. Okay, so that code is gray code. So instead of transmitting the binary code, let us transmit gray code. Okay, so that is why I can say that easy to transmit means bandwidth requirement will be lesser. So if this is the case, I can check for the any error at the receiver side. Okay, there is the transmitter and here is the receiver. When information goes from this place to this place, so in between, suppose I am transmitting 100. Okay, after some time I transmit 101. So receiver will know that between these two positions, between these two data, only 1 bit difference is there, means the received signal is correct. Okay, but if some problem happens in the channel, in the medium, and instead of transmitting 101, one of the bits get changed like this. Suppose this is now transmitted, so the receiver will conclude that earlier the data that I received was 100, now I am receiving 110. There is some problem because there should be only 1 bit difference between these two. Okay, so in this way the error detection and correction can be easier. So now let us see what is the gray code and how we achieve this thing. Okay, so suppose I have given a binary number. Binary number is given to us. Suppose I have a 10100. I have a binary number like this, and I have to convert this into gray code. Okay, binary to gray code. So what will I do? I will bring the MSB as it is. Okay, I will bring the MSB as it is. Then I will take XOR between these two. Now we are aware about the XOR gate. Okay, XOR gate. XOR gate produces 1 for unequal bits. Okay, it produces 1 for unequal bit and produces 0 for equal bits. Okay, so if the two bits in a XOR gate are same, it produces 0. If the two bits are different, 0 1 1 0, it produces 1. Okay, so by using this concept, I will convert the binary into gray code. So I will take XOR gate between these two. Okay, so 1 and 0. If I take XOR gate, they are different. It means it produce 1. Again, I will take XOR gate between these two. The symbol of XOR is this one. This is XOR gate. We have seen this in the previous lecture. So the XOR of 0 and 1 will be 1. Again, I will take XOR between these two consecutive bits, 1 and 0. Again, it will produce 1. XOR gate between these two zeros at the end. So 0 XOR 0, it will produce same bits are there, so it will produce 0. So this is the gray code of the number. Okay, so let us take the next number to this one. This was 10 100. These are the bits. Now I am taking the next binary number. So what is the next binary number to this? I am taking 10101. This is my next binary. Let us see what is the gray code of this number, and then we will compare. Now I will convert this into gray code. Okay, so what will I do? First of all, I will bring the MSB as it is. Okay, always remember that we will start from MSB, from left hand side. Then I will take XOR gate between these two. So 0 and 1, it will produce 1. XOR gate between these two, 0 and 1, it will produce 1. XOR gate between these two, 1 0, it will produce 1. XOR gate between these two, this will produce 1. Now we can see this number and this number. They are corresponding to consecutive bits. So it was a number. We are just adding 1 to this number to get this binary, and then we are converting this to gray code. So we can see the difference, only 1 bit, only LSB is getting changed. Only change is happening at this point. Okay, so in this way we can say that in the gray codes between the two consecutive binary numbers, I get only 1 bit difference. So this is how to achieve a gray code from binary. So let us take a general formula for conversion. In general, I will say, suppose I have binary code having bits, let us say A3, A2, A1, A0. Okay, so it's a gray code. Gray code will be A3 and then A3 XOR A2, then A2 XOR A1, then A1 XOR A0. So these are the bits, individual bits. Okay, so in this way I will get gray code from binary. This is the case as the transmitter. When it is transmitting, it is converting binary into gray code and then transmitting. So what will happen at the receiver side? It will convert the given gray code into binary, means the reverse process. So now let us see how to convert the gray code into binary. Suppose I am given a gray code, okay, 10111, okay, this is a gray code given to us. I want to convert this into binary, okay. So I will again start from the MSB 1. Then now in this case, what will I do? I will take XOR, get a XOR between this result and the next bit, okay. So 1 and 0, this time XOR will be taken between next bit of the gray code and the bit that we are getting as a binary number, okay. This is the binary number I am getting 1, and the gray code, next bit of the gray code is 0. So XOR gate of 1 and 0 is 1. So now I will take XOR gate between these two, okay. So 1 and XOR 1, what will the result? It will be 0. So 0 XOR 1, it will be 1. Then again 1 XOR 1, it will produce 0. So this is the binary code of the given gray code, okay. I can convert this into gray again in order to justify, in order to verify, okay, to verify, okay. I want to convert this, okay. So I will bring this one as it is, 1 1 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 1. So I got the same gray code again. So this can justify that our the conversion of binary to gray is correct. So gray to binary and binary to gray, okay. So this is correct way of doing the things. So in general, if I am giving a gray code, let us say the gray code given to us is G3, G2, G1, G0, okay. So the corresponding binary code will be G3. First of all, I will bring it as it is, then G3 XOR G2, the first bit, then second bit, then this will produce me, this will be XORed with the G1, means G1 XOR bits G3 XOR G2. Whatever result was there at this point of time, that will be XORed with G1, and then this whole thing will be XORed with G0. Let us say it is B3, B2, B1, then B1 will be XORed with G0, okay. So if I say the binary bits that I will get is B3, B2, B1, B0. So B3 will be equal to G3, B2 will be equal to G3 XOR G2, B1 will be equal to G1 XOR B2 XOR G1, and B0 will be equal to B1 XOR G0, okay. G3, G2, G1, G0, then B3, B2, B1, okay. So in this way I can convert my gray code into binary at the receiver side, okay. So now we have gone through the different gates. So we can now take the combinational digital circuits. Okay, digital system. Okay, so digital system is divided into two categories. One is the known as combinational logic, and the next one is sequential logic. So combinational circuits and sequential circuit are combinational logic and sequential logic. So the combination logics, the output is dependent on the present inputs. Okay, x1, x2, x3 and so on. So the output is function of current inputs. Okay, while in case of sequential circuit, y t plus 1 means next output will be dependent on, will be a function of y t along with the current input x1, x2, x3. So we can see in the sequential circuit what is there. I have a history of my previous output, means my system was able to memorize the previous output, only then it can produce this kind of output. No? So if it is able to memorize the previous output or previous outcome, it can, only then it can give me next output. So it means that in the sequential logic it contains some sort of memory. Okay, it contains memory. Sequential logics contain memory. It doesn't mean that all the memory elements are sequential logic. Okay, reverse is not true. In the combination logic, the current output is dependent on current input. No previous output is there in the function. Okay, so we will do the implementation of sequential logic at the moment. Let us say I have a function like y is equal to a plus b c prime. Okay, this is a function, boolean function given to me, boolean function given to us, boolean expression or boolean function given to us, and we are supposed to design the circuit, design or implement. Okay, so let us try to understand how we are going to implement this one. So we can see there are three inputs, a, b and c. A, b and c, three inputs are there. So c prime and b, these are ANDed, so we don't have c prime. Let us find out c prime. How to get c prime? This one, this output is c prime. At this point I'm getting c prime. Now this c prime is ANDed with b, so I will put a AND gate like this. Okay, so now what we are getting here, I am getting b c prime at this point. Now this is achieved, this portion. Now this is to be OR with a. What is this? This is OR gate. Okay, so I will OR with a, so this is y. So this is how we will start with the doing the implementation of the combinational circuit using logic gates. We can have another circuit implementation. Suppose Boolean function y is equal to a prime b plus c d prime whole prime. Okay, when implementation is given, simply you are asked to do the implementation. Don't bother about the complexity of the Boolean function given to you. Okay, so what will I do? I can see in my circuit I have four input variables A, B, C and D. These are the four variables that I have. Okay, so these are the four variables. So let us try to implement one by one. So A prime is there. I will get A prime. Then D prime is also there. I will get D prime like this. Okay. So after getting A prime, I can AND it with B. So I will AND it with B. Okay. Now these two have been done. This one is done. Now C D prime. So C and D prime, they are to be ANDed. So here I am getting A prime B. Here I am getting C D prime. Okay, C D prime. Now these two, this is implemented, this is implemented. What I have to do now? I have to, these two things are there. You can say X, this is X and this is Z, and I have to OR them. Let us OR it. OR it. Then what there? We can say there is a prime. Prime means NOT gate. So in this way I can get output Y. So this is the logic gate implementation of a Boolean function using different gates. Okay. You may be asked to implement these functions using NAND gates only, because NAND gate is a universal gate. You can implement any function using NAND gates. Okay. So now I am going to implement this one, A plus BC prime, Y is equal to A plus BC prime. Okay. So I will implement this function using NAND gate only. I am given that I have to use only NAND gate. I cannot use NOT gate, OR gate, AND gate. Okay. So let us proceed with this. First of all, I will do some manipulation in the given function. What if I put double prime over here? Means I take complement, 1's complement twice. The variable, the function will remain the same. Means I can write Y as Y double prime. So similarly, A plus B dot C prime double primes. I am putting two primes over here. This will not make any change in the function. Okay. So now what I am doing, I am implementing one of the bars over here. Okay. Using De Morgan's theorem. Now look how important De Morgan's theorem is. De Morgan's theorem. Okay. So now using De Morgan's theorem, what I have is, I have X, I have Z. Okay. So X plus Z whole prime. This is what we are looking at this point of time. As per the De Morgan's theorem, it will make X prime dot Z prime. Okay. As per the De Morgan's theorem. So I am leaving this outermost bar as it is. I am implementing this bar into my function. Okay. So now this is X and this is Z. Okay. So it will become X prime as per this one. X prime means A prime dot Z prime. Z prime means B dot C, this Z whole prime. Okay. Now we will start with the implementation. Okay. Look at this one. What is this? This is complement of A. This is complement of C, and then we are NANDing B and C prime. Okay, so this is B and this is C prime, B dot C prime whole prime. Okay, if I look at NAND gate, what is the function of NAND gate? Function of NAND gate says that if I have two variables X and Y, output will be X dot Y whole prime. What if I have X, Y prime at the input? So only thing I need to do is this one, X, Y prime. These are the two inputs. So X dot Y prime whole prime. So this is the case over here. Okay. So I can write this one as, okay, we are going to implement this one. Now let us go the implementation. Okay, implementation using NAND gates. I will use only NAND gates. Okay, so NOT gate is implemented by using NAND gates in this way. Both the inputs are sorted. A, here I get A prime. Okay, then I have to get C prime before I go for the NANDing. So this is B and this is C. So I will get C prime by sorting the inputs of the two input NAND gate. Okay, I did. These are the two inputs of my NAND gate. I am sorting them and getting a NOT gate over here. So what I am getting over here, I am getting C prime over here. Now look at it. C prime and B are to be NANDed in order to get this whole thing. Okay, so I am doing NANDing. Okay, B and C prime. Look at this one. This B and C prime. So B, C prime, it is been NANDed. So what I am getting here is, I am getting B dot C prime whole prime. We implemented this thing. Okay, I implemented this thing over here, and this thing is also implemented. Now I can go for the NAND gate again. This can be taken out. This can be taken as, let us say, A, B. Now this A and B can be given to a NAND gate in order to get A dot B whole prime. What is this? A, small b, whole prime. Okay, so it means that I have to bring this one over here and this thing over here and feed into a NAND gate, and I will get the output Y. Okay, so in this way we will do the NAND gate implementation. So for any function, if you are asked to implement using NAND gate only, first of all put double prime over here, double bar over the function, and implement one of the bars inside the function and leave the upper one as it is. Okay, so in this way I can go for the implementation of any Boolean function by using NAND gate only. So okay, I think you can go for the some more examples for the implementation. I will send you about the same. Thank you.